UFC 311 is going down on January 18th. And this card is not just, a really good pay-per-view of a really good main event. This card has two really good main events on it. And it's just not on top of that, not just the main event and co-main fantastic. The rest of this card, the prelims, early prelims, has good fights everywhere. And so I just want to dive in, take a look, and obviously the main event, Makhachev versus Tascarian 2. What an unbelievable rematch and fight. And I don't really look at this fight as a rematch because these guys fought so long ago. They're complete. Islam is so much better. Arman is so much better. But you have two of the elite. You have Islam submitting Dustin Poirier, knocking out Volkanovski, outstriking and beating Volkanovski, and then just pretty much kind of dominating Charles Oliveira to win the title. And you got Arman who's coming off a win over Charles Oliveira. Anyone who thinks Oliveira won that fight, trust me, no one wanted Oliveira to win that fight more than I did, but Oliveira did not win that fight, unfortunately. But Arman gets a clear win over Charles Oliveira. Don't know how that went to split decision. Knocks and starches out Beneil Dariush, who we'll get into in a little bit. And it's just, Arman, it's just good resume, rightful number one contender. And, this fight is so great because, when Islam fought Dustin, I don't think anyone really thought Dustin had a chance. In this fight, and I know people are going to be counting out Arman. Arman had a shot at this, guys. He has the grappling. He has the striking to beat Islam. The question is Islam just, even with Arman being so well-rounded, being so elite basically everywhere, is Islam just once again a step ahead of these guys? That's the question. And, does Arman have the power to KO Islam? And, a lot of people maybe are thinking that Arman can do better on the feet because he doesn't have to worry about the takedowns as much. I definitely think, if, compared to like a Dustin Poirier, Arman obviously doesn't have to worry about it as much as a guy like Dustin. But I still think he has to worry about it. And on top of that, Islam striking is just so good. I mean, he's outstriking Charles Oliveira. He's outstriking Volkanovski. He's outstriking Dustin Poirier. He dominated Dan Hooker. So, early prediction this fight, I'm going Islam. I'm thinking by TKO or decision. I'll do Islam by decision right now because I think Arman's that good, and that's what makes this main event so good, guys. Like I said, I always talk about I don't like undeserved title shots. This is a real title shot right here, and a fight that could obviously, the odds are minus 360 for Islam, but this is a fight that really could go either way, in my opinion. It really could. If someone makes the case that Arman's going to win, I get it. Everyone loses one day. Is this the fight that Islam loses? I don't think so, but this is an unbelievable main event. We go to the co-main event. Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Another absolute banger. I mean, this is a main event right here. This is a great main event, and it's the co-main event at this card, in the new Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. I mean, what a co-main event. And, you got a lot of drama with Merab. I think on Sterling's podcast, I saw something where Sterling's buddy or whatever admitted that Merab turned down Merab. So obviously Merab did duck Umar. I mean, Merab turned down Umar, not Merab turned down Merab. But so obviously Merab is kind of trying, to avoid Umar Nurmagomedov. But obviously Merab is going to do what the UFC tells him to do. We're getting this fight. Unbelievable fight. I mean, Umar, everyone was like, oh, why is he fighting? Why is he getting, why is he getting given Corey Sandhagen in a fight? He showed you why. He dominated Corey Sandhagen. He won every single round, and Corey Sandhagen's an elite bantamweight. He won every single round. And you have Merab, who has, a resume of like a bantamweight GOAT, essentially. Dominated Sean O'Malley, dominated Henry Cejudo, dominated Peter Yan. Beat Jose Aldo, knocked out Marlon Moraes. So many good wins. And I guess Merab's kind of style of dominating is a little different because a lot of time it's just him shooting failed takedowns, but because he can shoot so many, he's just able to get the win because, Peter Yan wasn't able to do anything about it. So Merab is an interesting way of dominating. And the question is, can he do that? Can he impose his will like he did against a Sean O'Malley, a Henry Cejudo, against Umar Nurmagomedov? Obviously, Vegas does not think so. Umar's a minus 270. A minus 270 against a guy with Merab's resume is pretty crazy, but I kind of get it, to be honest. And I'm not sure I'm picking this fight. I've leaned Marab, and then I kinda leaned Umar, and right now I'm kinda leaning Umar right now, but, I made a last-minute pick decision to pick O'Malley over Marab, which was just an unbelievable mistake. I was picking Marab the whole time. I don't know what I was thinking, and obviously we saw what Marab did. He had a great performance. It's just this is such a tough fight to pick, guys. It's a fight that I need, thank God this card's in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, because I need some time to think about this. But right now, I'm going to lean Umar. I think Umar's striking is just more crisp. I think he hits, overall, I think it's just way better than Marab's. And I think Umar Nurmagomedov's is going to have the grappling and the jiu-jitsu and basically, the fact that he's kind of the whole package of everything. He does everything so well to really kind of outlast Marab and get a dub. And I think, if Marab wins or Umar wins, I think it's by decision. I mean, God, Marab is so bad on the feet at times. That's what made me pick O'Malley last minute. Who knows? Umar could clip him and knock him out. He has good power. But right now, I'm kind of leaning Umar Nurmagomedov by decision. But this could switch to Marab, though. I am undecided, but I'm leaning Umar. And it's just crazy that a guy like Marab's resume in his first title defense on the streak that he's on is this. It's not a massive underdog, but it's still pretty crazy. It's pretty wild to think about. But unbelievable co-main event. Guys, this is what the UFC is all about. These fights right here. Featured fight. I'm assuming Yuri and Jamal Hill is going to move up here. Doesn't really matter, but we'll just say this one's a featured fight for now. I'm assuming they'll swap, but doesn't matter. Beneil Dariush versus Ronaldo Moicano. First of all, I thought Benoit Saint Denis was going to butcher Moicano, and obviously that did not happen. What Moicano did to Benoit Saint Denis on the ground in that fight, the ground and pound, it's some of the most damaging shots and best ground and pound and most damage a fighter's ever taken in, I think it was the first round I've ever seen in my life. That was an unbelievable performance. And then you have Beneil Dariush, who, obviously this is before the channel, but everyone was hyping, oh, Beneil's going to beat Charles Oliveira. Listen, I never had doubt in my mind. I knew Charles Oliveira was going to starch Beneil, was going to dominate him. I knew that. But everyone on Twitter, all the Beneil fans, oh, he's going to win. He's going to beat Oliveira. A lot of other YouTube channels were picking Beneil. And then he gets, demolished against Charles Oliveira. That's one of my favorite fights ever. Just destroyed. And then he fights Arman and gets KO'd in the first round. But could Beneil win this? Yes. But I can't pick Beneil. I can't pick Beneil in this fight. I have to go Moicano. Even though Beneil's so well-rounded, what Moicano's done, I can't obviously we're not going ultra in the details, just kind of just a card preview in my thoughts, but I have to go Moicano. I just have to. He's coming for that money Moicano. He wants it. He's going to beat Beneil. I trust Moicano to get this done. But if it's the featured fight, if it's the fight before the featured fight, this is a great fight, guys. After these two fights up here, this is an unbelievable fight. And then we go to the fight, which I believe will end up being the featured fight on the card. Yuri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill. So you got Yuri Prochazka, who doesn't know how to play defense, has no fight IQ in fighting Pereira, and you got Jamal Hill, who also has no fight IQ fighting Alex Pereira, and is also, pretty much the biggest crybaby in the UFC. I really want Yuri to win this, guys. I really do, but I have to go Jamal Hill. I have to. I remember when Jamal Hill was scheduled to fight Khalil Roundtree before Khalil Roundtree tested positive for illegal substances. I was worried about Jamal Hill because, if there's, Khalil does hit with massive power. He put up a decent fight against Alex Pereira, better than both these guys did. Besides Yuri, I guess in the first fight, Yuri was winning that first fight with Pereira, but I have to go Jamal Hill. I was worried about his chin on the short turnaround against Khalil. That's the only reason why I'd even consider picking really Khalil over Jamal Hill, I think, is the chin. But Jamal Hill, he's taking time off. He should be fully healthy, even though he doesn't look like he's in the best fight shape going into it, which I've seen a lot of people kind of meme on him a bit, which is pretty funny. But I'm not too worried about his fight shape. I just think Jamal Hill, his striking is just more crisp and better than Yuri Prochazka's. And if we're talking about chins, I'm really worried about Yuri Prochazka's chin. He got TKO'd by Alex Pereira. He took a ton of damage in that amazing comeback win against Alexander Rakic. And then, the damage he took against Pereira, the ground and pound after he was already out. When he got dropped at the end of, I believe that was the first round. The fight was basically over. And then what happened after? Oh my gosh. I mean, it was hard to watch. I love Yuri Proska. It was hard to watch that. And I want Yuri to win this. And can Yuri get this done? Yes. I mean, he's the favorite right now, minus 130, but I just can't pick him. Jamal Hill's going to be better on defense. He's going to hit with, the same amount of power. I think he's, overall as a technical striker, he's just better. And I trust his chin more than Yuri's. And listen, the way Yuri's going to have to win this, he's going to have to do what Yuri does, break you mentally, impose his will, and get you out of there. And you know what? I hope Yuri does that to Jamal Hill because it would be hilarious. What would Jamal Hill say after that? You'd say nothing. But I have to pick, right now, I have to pick Jamal Hill, and I don't think that's going to change. I don't see myself changing my mind here. With a chin that I think is suspect like Yuri's right now, I have to pick the guy who's better on defense, the more technical, cleaner striker, and Jamal Hill has very good power. So, got to go Jamal Hill. Pulling for Yuri Proska, though, but got to go Jamal Hill. Open up the main card. Kevin Holland versus Rainer de Ritter. Or Ryder, I probably just butchered his name. I'm not exactly sure I want to pick this time. I guess I'm kind of leaning, Kevin Holland to pick in this fight. But overall, I don't have a pick for this fight yet. But guys, this is kind of like a little off topic here, but Kevin Holland. I've seen Kevin Holland fight live. I like Kevin Holland. I think he's an entertained fighter. I think he's a decent fighter. But man, has there ever been a fighter that he's barely been ranked in the top 15? Barely. He has never won a really, really meaningful fight. Has there ever been a fighter that is just basically an average UFC guy? He was making fun of MVP for being the Bellator guy. He got dominated by that Bellator guy. So what does that make Kevin Holland? I mean, have you ever seen a guy who doesn't have any meaningful wins, who has barely cracked the top 15 in his career, get so many pay-per-view openers or featured fights, or he's on fight night main events and mainly just being placed on pay-per-view cards? Has there been a guy that's ever gone more than Kevin Holland? And I know he's a bit of a company man. He takes a lot of short notice fights, which I appreciate. So I get it. I'm not trying to hate on Kevin Holland, even though I do think maybe not as much anymore, but he has been vastly overrated. It's just kind of crazy that I've just never seen a fighter that has never been close to elite, doesn't have a single meaningful win, get put on these cards like this. I'm just, I'm not shitting on him at all. I've just never seen it. If there's another fighter that is in that similar situation, which I'm sure there is, maybe not the extent that Kevin Holland is, let me know because I'm just interested. Yeah, I just figured I'd point that out. Let me know what you guys think about that. But solid fight to open the main card. What should probably be opening the main card is Johnny Walker versus Bogdan Guskov. I just don't know if I can ever pick Johnny Walker. Obviously, we'll go, more in detail into this fight, further down the line. But I just don't trust his chin. I just don't think I can pick him. I don't know. But, this is a solid fight, headline the prelims. Peyton Talbot is back versus Ronnie Barcelos. I mean, minus 1,100 favorite. My God, holy cow. I mean, Peyton Talbot should get this done. Great prelim fight. I'd almost rather have this fight be open in the main card, even though I don't think it makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. Honestly, this fight should probably open the main card instead of Kevin Holland. Joel Almeida versus Sergey Spivak. I got Joel Almeida. I really am curious to see what the odds are on this. Joel Almeida, Sergey Spivak, we saw him against Cyril Gane, where people actually thought he had a chance against Cyril Gane because of the grappling, but at the end of the day, when you're so unathletic compared to a guy like Gane who is ultra athletic, you just don't stand a chance. And Jolton Almeida, yeah, he doesn't have any striking. It's not like Sergey is striking either. But I trust Almeida's cardio. I trust his athleticism and his grappling way more than Spivak. So I got Jolton Almeida. I could see him winning by rear naked choke, but I got Jolton Almeida in this fight. Zachary Reese versus Cedric Dumars. I'm so bad with these names, guys. Oh my God. You got Grant Dawson, Diego Ferreira, Carl Rosa, and I don't really care. Some other good fights down here. And so I just don't want to butcher any of these guys' names. I'm sure these are all good fights and stuff like that, but I am not trying to butcher these guys' names, all right? So, but overall, guys, I mean, from early prelims, solid, to prelims, very good prelims, to a main card that is just absolutely fantastic. You just really can't get better than a card like this. And as I said, when it comes to who's getting the title shots in this fight, when it comes to, is there a level of threat to the champion? This is what the UFC is all about. This is why I do not give undeserved title shots. This card is fantastic. We're getting fights that we want. And I know some people, people complain that, oh, Umar, never deserved the Corey Sandhagen fight. He only has one ranked win or something like that. Who cares? Who cares? What fight is better than Merab versus Umar? And I think most people are for this fight. But, like, I know there's some people that are probably like, yeah, Umar should never have, gotten the opportunity to be here. Well, what's fight is better than this? And Merab, I know Merab's talking about this a lot. I mean, if Merab loses, and I love Merab, I really like Merab, even though he's, yeah, let's just say how he is. He's a moron. He's a complete moron. But I still love Merab, and if he loses this fight, though, it's a bad look for Merab, though. He has to win this fight, man. It's a terrible look. And then, yeah, if Arman can pull an upset, we get a rematch, a trilogy. That would be wild. That'd be a wild trilogy. I kind of don't want that to happen because I want my boy Oliveira to get a rematch of Islam, even though I think it probably goes the same way as the first fight, but it is what it is. But, guys, overall, what do you guys think about UFC 311? I mean, as you guys can probably tell, I think it's an amazing card, amazing fights, the correct fights to make. The bout order, is good. Everything about this card, I love. And this is like one of those near just perfect cards for me. I love the featured fights. I love the co-main event, which I think the co-main event is a banger main event, and you're basically getting two banger main events on this card. Absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Guys, let me know what you think about the card in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, throw in some of your predictions. If you disagree with something I said about this card, let me know. I'd love to hear it in the comment section. I'll see you guys on the next one.